The eyes of the world were firmly focused on the French city of Chartres and its Cathédrale Notre-Dame last Tuesday for the funeral of Formula 2 racer Antoine Hubers. There, his family, friends, and the motorsport community paid their final respects, including his childhood pals Charles Leclerc, Pierre Gasly, and Esteban Ocon, fellow racers Alex Albon and George Russell, and the sport's top management, including FIA President Jean Todt. The Frenchman died at the Belgian Grand Prix earlier this month after a high-speed accident at Raidillon in Saturday's F2 feature race. His memory was honored before the F1 race with a minute's silence on the grid, Hubert's mother and brother in attendance. Williams has ensured an important part of its competitive future, extending its power unit deal with Mercedes until the end of 2025. Williams' partnership with the German Mark began in 2014 at the turn of F1's turbo hybrid era, lifting the squad to 2 third-place finishes in the Constructors' Championship. Before its recent competitive collapse, leading to 10th and last place in the standings, a single point its only haul from 2019 so far. The contract extension with Mercedes builds an additional 5 years onto the original 7-year deal, locking in dependable grunt for the squad as it claws its way back from the brink. A critical move, according to Deputy Team Principal Claire Williams. Mercedes-Benz has been one of the sport's most successful engine suppliers, and we believe that they will continue to have an extremely competitive engine package going forwards, she said. Williams, however, will continue to manufacture its own gearboxes, with the outfit's Grove facilities still reflective of its former works team status. 2016 F1 world champion Nico Rosberg believes that Sebastian Vettel will bounce back from his current slump, despite Charles Leclerc's wins at the Belgium and Italian Grands Prix. It's now over a year since Vettel's last win at Spa-Francorchamps in 2018, with his spin at Monza one of many mistakes across the last few seasons. But Rosberg says the 4-time F1 world champion can rise again.
Sebastian doesn't have to queue as the number 2. Sebastian is one of the best drivers of all time and still has that speed that he's always had. He will show that sooner than later.
Rosberg, though, did not deny that the sands are shifting at the Scuderia, following Leclerc's barnstorming drives at 2 of F1's most iconic venues.
Leclerc's victory was incredible. Internationally, that set a different dynamic in motion. Nevertheless, I believe both drivers will be treated as equals by Ferrari. The one who's ahead will be favoured in every race. Therefore, Sebastian still has all the chances.
Ferrari team boss Mattia Binotto says F1 must consider reliability before introducing more standardized car parts from 2021. The sport's next era promises closer competition, with a $175 million cost cap to help reduce financial advantage, along with a new car less affected by dirty air, with a raft of standard parts like brake systems, wheel rims, and clutches, which Binotto says could prove problematic, with F1's feeder series F2 having an issue with the one-spec clutches last year that forced the grid to do rolling starts. We may accept standardization, but we need to make sure first it's reliable, that the level of quality is the right one, that the level of performance is what you may expect of F1, he said. Ferrari has generally been against the sport increasing the list of standard parts, which it says is against F1's competitive DNA. Mercedes has revealed it didn't consider moving Lewis Hamilton onto the hard tyres in Monza, as the winner Ferrari's Charles Leclerc did, with an undercut attempt the Focus. The 5-time F1 world champion was 1.5 seconds behind the Monegasque on lap 19 before his stop, and switching to the hard tyre would have been devastating to their attempts to pass the Ferrari, according to Mercedes strategy director James Vowles.
If you're going to go for the undercut, you need the softest rubber available to do that, and that was the medium compound. It was the best chance of making that undercut work.
But the squad's plan fell apart with a 2.6-second stop, which was 3/10 slower than Ferrari, 6/10 Hamilton's gap to Leclerc on exit.
Lewis did an exceptional outlap. He did everything he could. He used the engine modes in the way he should be using them. Ultimately, Leclerc was able to box 1 lap later and come out just 6/10 ahead of him. That's all we were shy by. One small trip up from Ferrari to pit stop would have been enough.
Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.